what I want to talk about today is a hierarchy. And it's this idea that typically an organization that is centralized, such as the ENF, has a hierarchy. And I want to talk about the way that I lead the ENF, for example, and the way that I typically lead organizations in terms of what you would envision or what you can imagine or how you could illustrate a hierarchy. Think of a pyramid. People typically look at hierarchy in terms of a pyramid. There's somebody on top and there's a bunch of people under. What I want you to envision, though, is take that pyramid and flip it on its head. It still is a hierarchy. There's still the tip of the pyramid, but the tip of the pyramid is at the bottom. And that is very much how I try to lead and how I try to operate and/or essentially manage an organization and guide an organization. It's very much this idea that we are a whole ecosystem that at this point right now, the ENF, let's say, might be the tip to a certain extent, but that the way that I want you to view it and the way that I want people to, and it's not just want you to view it, this is how I try to operate, is that I'm at the bottom of that pyramid. The pyramid is flipped over its head. And what I try to do is surround myself with people that can provide particular functions, but I try and empower them. So yes, I might be the one making the decisions, but those decisions are based on the advice that I get from people all around me, from the different stakeholders, from the people that report to me. But very much I try to take the approach of what can I do to empower those people so that they can do their jobs better. So what I really try to do is surround myself with people that have particular expertise that I don't have, that can provide advice in a particular realm, and I can empower them with the resources and the support and the space that they need in order to be more effective in their roles. Take that from the start and keep amplifying it further. That's also what I'm trying to do with the community. And so the community fits in that picture in, let's say, that top-down pyramid at a much broader, much wider range. And we see that through the blue papers. We see that through the different working groups or with different stakeholders within the ENF core, for example. My role, and I really try to live this because this is the way that I learned, let's say, how to lead an organization. I grew up, from a business side of things or from a leadership side of things. I grew up in Japan in that sense. And so it's this idea that everybody, sure, might report to me to a certain sense inside the organization. There's a functional authority. But when you flip it around, my role is to empower people. My role is to support people. My role is to make space. And this kind of sounds cheesy, but it comes from, when I was in university, there's a professor that in a way guided his classes or taught in this particular fashion. It was this idea that he tried to be just the resistance similar to, let's say, wind beneath a bird's wings. So I know it sounds super cheesy, but I really believe that. And that's really what I try to do on a daily basis. It's to provide the right amount of resistance so that you can fly. And you, in this case, being somebody that's in the ENF core and or being the community. But it's going back to this idea that I'm not trying to slow the person down. I'm trying to create the right amount of resistance so that you can fly, so that you can be empowered. I need to give you the space so that you can grow, so that you can do what you do best that I can't do better because I amplify your skill set. Because I give you the space and I give you the resources and I give you the support so that you can go and do what only you can do better than anybody else. And that's what we try to do with the ENF, right? So when you think about it at the core, what we've been deploying resources on and the various projects, initiatives that we've been trying to lift off or that I've already lifted off and that we're supporting, it's not this idea of controlling those organizations completely differently. It's this idea of creating the space so that those organizations can take ownership of whatever it is they're doing, and we can support them, we can empower them, we can amplify what they're doing much better than what they could do on their own, because we can provide that space, we can provide that support. So again, it's going back to this idea that the pyramid, in a way, there is a pyramid, there is a hierarchy, but it's flipped on its head. What do you think?
you.